The airplane hummed softly as it climbed through a blanket of clouds. The lights were dim, and most passengers had already drifted into sleep. Only one woman sat awake, Clara Bergman, 30 years old, CEO of a rising tech company that had consumed her every waking moment for months. Her shoulders ached from tension, her eyes burned from exhaustion. She'd just sealed a multi-million-dollar deal in Singapore, the kind that could change everything, or perhaps had already changed her. She closed her eyes for a moment, promising herself it would only be for a second. But when she opened them again, her head had gently fallen onto the shoulder of the man beside her. He wore a simple shirt, his brown hair slightly tousled. He smelled faintly of coffee and cedar. Embarrassed, Clara straightened up at once, ready to apologize, but he chuckled softly without looking up from his book. "It's fine," he whispered. "You look like someone who could use some sleep." Clara wanted to say something sharp, something professional, but fatigue washed over her, heavier than pride. For the first time in weeks, she let go and drifted into real rest. When she woke, the cabin was bathed in a faint golden glow. The man hadn't moved, careful not to disturb her. Mortified, she sat up quickly. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." He smiled. "No harm done? You haven't slept properly in days, have you?" She raised a brow. "How would you know?" He grinned. "I have kids." You can always spot the look of someone running on fumes. Something about his tone disarmed her. He wasn't boasting, wasn't posturing, just honest. He introduced himself as Jonas, a single father to a 7-year-old girl named Emma. He'd been traveling for a job interview, hoping things would work out. As he spoke, Clara found herself listening, really listening. They talked quietly about work, dreams, and the pace of a world that never stopped. He told her about reading bedtime stories over video calls, about missing birthdays and trying to make up for it with pancakes and laughter. Clara realized how long it had been since she'd had a conversation that wasn't strategic. Then, without warning, the plane jolted violently. The lights flickered. Someone screamed. The captain's voice came through, calm but taut. "Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. We are entering an unexpected turbulence zone." The plane dropped sharply. Trays rattled, cups fell, and the flight attendant stumbled. Clara's hand shot out instinctively. Jonas caught it and held tight. "Breathe," he said softly, steady as a rock beside her. "It's going to be okay." For a woman who negotiated billion-dollar risks, she was suddenly just human, scared, shaking, and grateful for the warmth of another hand. When the turbulence finally passed, she realized she was still holding his hand. Slowly, she released it. "Thank you," she whispered. He smiled. "Sometimes we just need someone to hold on to." As the cabin relaxed, laughter spread among relieved passengers. Jonas helped an elderly woman set up her breakfast tray, patient and kind. Clara watched him, feeling something shift inside her. In her world of deadlines and dominance, that kind of quiet goodness had become rare. He asked about her work, and when she admitted she was a CEO, he whistled. "That explains the look. You seem like someone who manages even the turbulence." She laughed, genuinely this time. Then his voice softened. "You know, I think the world would be a better place if people with power forgot they had it sometimes." The words hit her deeper than she expected. As they neared landing, Jonas showed her a photo of Emma red curls, a missing tooth, and a handmade sign that said, "Welcome home, Dad." "She's beautiful," Clara said softly. "Her mom passed when she was 4, Jonas replied. "I just try to help her understand the world, one piece at a time." When the plane landed, he helped her retrieve her bag. Before parting, Clara hesitated. "Jonas," she said, "may I give you my card? You mentioned job hunting. Maybe I could help." He shook his head gently. "Thank you. But I think I need to spend a little more time with my daughter first, before I jump back in." She nodded. "I understand. And I wish you something too," he said with a grin. "Peace. It's rarer than success." She watched him disappear into the crowd, that small backpack slung over his shoulder. Something inside her felt different, lighter. 2 weeks later, in her sleek Berlin office, Clara received an envelope with no return address. Inside was a crayon drawing, a sun, a plane, and 2 people holding hands. Beneath it, the words in a child's handwriting. "Thank you for not making my dad's friend in heaven scared. Emma, 7. Clara's breath caught. On the back, a note from Jonas. "I don't know what you told my daughter, but she said the sky doesn't feel so far anymore. Thank you." She didn't remember ever speaking to Emma, but something from that flight had reached further than she imagined. She framed the drawing beside her computer. That day, she canceled her meetings and went for a walk instead. A month later, fate did what fate does best. They met again, at an airport. Jonas was carrying Emma's backpack. Clara, a lighter briefcase than before. Clara, he said, surprised. I didn't expect to see you again, she smiled. Maybe you were meant to, he replied. Emma ran up and hugged Clara. You're the lady from Dad's story, she giggled. As Jonas looked at her not with admiration, but recognition, Clara felt something warm settle deep inside her. The loudspeaker called for boarding. They smiled at each other, knowing this wasn't an ending. It was the start of something quiet, something real. Because sometimes life doesn't teach you through victories, but through turbulence. Not about success, but about who's holding your hand when everything shakes.